We're going to have some fun today and take a trip down memory lane and look at some of the comments and some of the takes leading into the Robert Whittaker, Ikram Aliskerov fight, which just took place in the main event of UFC Saudi Arabia last weekend. My name is James Lynch. Now, before I read the comments here on this video I made right when the fight was announced, just know the two things. Number one, this is all for fun. Everyone's got to relax and take it easy. I know that's easier said than done with fight fans. And number two is the only reason I make these videos is because there's fans out there that are so arrogant and so pompous that they don't think another fighter can win a fight. They say the fighter's going to lose easily. That's what we're looking for here. There's nothing wrong with picking fights wrong, but there is something wrong, in my opinion, with not giving a fighter another chance to win. So that's what we're going to do in today's video. Let's get into it. And let's start here with David, who says nothing but respect for Bobby Knuckles, but Ikram is going to destroy him. Again, when you use words like destroy or easy win, you're not giving a lot of respect to Bobby Knuckles, despite what he just said there in the first comment. I'm picking Ikram to finish Rob inside of first 2 rounds, or he could win the first 2 rounds without gassing. He still has a chance to win by decision. Doesn't end up happening. Also, I'm just noticing here someone's video saying Robert Whittaker just made the biggest mistake. Shout out to this guy as well, who had the crying emoji with Robert Whittaker. Don't think he was crying after Saturday, guys. Just saying. After Ikram wins against Robert, won't be surprised if Hamzat will tweet him, "See you soon, boy." Again, this guy just assuming that Ikram's going to win. No questions asked. Very arrogant fan base right here. They are basically handing out Ikram an absolutely zero risk, huge reward opportunity. He gets a chance to fight currently active off a win over the 3rd greatest middleweight of all time, Robert Whittaker, with a built-in excuse in case he loses. But on the other hand, even if they are seriously bumping up his pay, what's in it for Robert? It's basically lose-lose. Huge setback if he loses, and if he wins, it really means nothing. Well, I think it means a lot. He just knocked him out. As much as it would suck for fans, Whittaker should honestly just pull out of the fight. So this guy is not even giving Whittaker any ounce of a chance in this fight, not even thinking he can get it done. Again, people are overlooking Whittaker here. Also, shout out to this guy who says Hamzat has never pulled out before. Yes, he has. He's had COVID I don't know how many times. There's been a number of fights that Hamzat Chimaev hasn't made. Just wanted to shout out this guy as well too. I'm sure Ikram is going to go in there and get the win. Wonder if this is going to set up a rematch with Hamzat. Again, guys, overlooking Whittaker, just already talking about future fights for Ikram after this fight. Ikram will demolish Robert. No, he didn't. I've got Ikram. He's had more tough amateur fights. So this guy's implying that Robert Whittaker, despite beating Darren Till, Paulo Costa, Jared Cannonier, that Ikram's amateur fights are somehow going to be the deciding factor. I don't really agree with that. He's also in his hometown. He's not in his hometown. He's from Russia. Yes, the fans will be on his side with the fact that they're Muslim. It's not in his hometown. Whittaker isn't so consistent. Whittaker's fighting for the 2nd time this year. I thought he will beat Drakus. I think a lot of people did, but everything else here, complete nonsense. Ikram under 2.5. Again, not giving Rob any sort of chance. Ikram is really big for 185. I'm interested about his weight cut. I really don't know why Robert would take this fight. When it comes to me, I pick Askarov on this run. So not only are you wrong, but saying that Ikram's bigger than Rob, they're both 6 feet tall, and Askarov has, what, a little bit of a reach advantage in this fight? Like, again, they're just making stuff up here that Ikram's so much bigger than Whittaker in there. He didn't look that much bigger on fight night. This is such a difficult matchup for Whittaker, largely because the Dagestanis are inept at tactical planning, and unlike Chimaev, Askarov will actually follow the game plan. Furthermore, Whittaker was taken down by a pseudo-wrestler in Duplessis, so I can't fathom Askarov having trouble with takedowns. Mind you, he didn't end up getting a takedown in this fight, especially if they are fighting if they are via Sambo trips. The only issue with Askarov is the gas tank. He will have the proper cardio to outwit the very cunning and gifted opponent, because on the feet, they are miles apart. I don't think they were miles apart, because Whittaker knocked him out in this fight. Come on, man. And I see a lot of this comments too, and you know, this is also an awful take. Askarov is better than Chimaev now. Based off what? He beat Warley Alves and he beat Phil Hawes. Phil Hawes was shortly released from the UFC. Warley Alves has fought primarily at welterweight in his career. I don't get this logic either, that Ikram is so much better than Chimaev. This is another thing I saw. Bad take. You're getting called out for it. And then there's this guy for saying it's not fair for Ikram because he has to travel from America to Saudi. How about it's not fair for Rob fighting a guy who's not even in the rankings? Here's another guy, courtesy of Dirty Harry. Easy win for Ikram. And then he concludes here and says, we will talk about this after the fight. I think he will delete this comment when Askarov beats this guy. This is what I'm talking about. There's so much arrogance from this fan base that they just think that everybody that they fight, they're going to lose. I saw the exact same thing with Abus Magomedov and Sean Strickland. So many people picked Abus to finish Strickland. And what happened? Strickland, who by the way is not a knockout artist, finished Abus in the 2nd round. This was the exact, very similar scenario, although Ikram taking this fight on short notice, but the same similar things you saw here. Future champion, gonna win the fight easy, all this type of stuff. It didn't end up happening. And then here's another thing that people keep bringing up in the fight. Whittaker has fighting a lot more might be a bit of a stretch. And I was referring to the fact that Whittaker has had more UFC fights. He's been in the UFC a long time. This guy says Ikram has won the Russian championship, the European championship, and the world championship in combat sambo. He won the world championship while he's still a teenager, world champion as a teenager. That was 12 years ago. He recently has just gotten the chance to fight in the UFC, but he's done as well as could be expected against the opponents he's given, which is true. But you can't just bring up past accomplishments. Otherwise, I mean, look at all the fighters that have been, competed in the Olympics. Not all of them have gone on to win UFC fights. Again, bad take now looking back, because this guy was saying that's the reason that he's going to beat Whittaker. Experience matters, and Whittaker showed that on Saturday night. And that's pretty much it. I wish we had more comments. I'm sure if I had time to have done a pros picks for Ikram and Whittaker, it was going to be a similar outcome, with fans, again, dismissing Whittaker, saying he had no chance, and saying that this was going to be an easy win. We saw a bit of that here in the comments, and we're just having fun, guys. My whole thing is, if you're a fan base that doesn't give other fighters respects, then you get called out. And for people who think I'm just going after one particular fan base, I did this with Alexander Rakic fans when they fought Yuri. Same thing, easy win for Rakic. Same thing with Benoit Saint-Denis when he fought Dustin Poirier. There was a lot of people calling people delusional for picking Dustin Poirier, and you can find those videos here on this channel, okay? So hope everyone had a good laugh here today. I did. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. My name is James Lynch. I'm posting content on this channel every single day. If you guys could support this channel by doing the things I just mentioned, and I'll talk to you guys soon.